everyone. Today I will be talking about subsistence systems in Mexican culture through traditional small-scale agriculture. Subsistence systems are defined as the set of skills, practices, and technologies used by members of a society to acquire and distribute food needed for daily living. There are four common types of subsistence systems that I will briefly mention. The first is foraging. Foraging relies on wild plant and animal food resources, also known as hunting and gathering. Second, pastoralism is when people raise herds of domesticated livestock. Third, horticulture. Horticulture is based on the small-scale cultivation of crops intended primarily for the direct consumption of the household or immediate community. And finally, agriculture, which is the cultivation of domesticated plants and animals using technologies that allow for intensive use of the land. Each of these systems influence the way people work, interact, and understand their place in the world. As mentioned, I will be focusing on agriculture, specifically on traditional agriculture in the rural areas of Mexico. The system in which we acquire food can play an important role in shaping cultural identity and social organization. This topic is also personal to me because my grandma grew up closely connected to agricultural practices through my family in Mexico. She farmed, prepped food from their own crops, and spent time in the fields. These experiences shaped how I was able to understand food and community. In rural Mexico, maize or corn is at the center of traditional agriculture. In Mexico, corn isn't just a crop, it is a symbol that represents cultural identity and continuity. Many families rely on corn to make everyday foods like tortillas, atole, and tamales, and other important foods that are a part of my culture and will be passed down to future generations. Corn is planted, harvested, and used throughout the entire year. It is a versatile and staple crop that is central to these small-scale agricultural systems. Let's talk about the domestic mode of production in Mexico. Traditional agriculture in these areas are based on production organized by the household. Work is often divided by gender and age. Men often handle the field labor like planting and harvesting, while women will process these crops, prepare meals, and manage household systems. Children also have huge roles in agriculture. They learn these valuable skills through their participation and observation. When we look at these practices, we see how small-scale subsistence systems reflect social organization and sustainability. Here are a few questions I asked my grandma to share her experiences on her farm. ¿Qué significa para usted el maíz o el cultivo principal que sembraban?
Bueno, el maíz no es solo comida, sino es vida, porque él representa el trabajo de nuestras manos y el sustento para nuestras familias. Y cuando comemos una tortilla, sentimos orgullo porque proviene de nuestra tierra y de nuestra cultura.
¿Qué parte de trabajo tenía cada miembro de la familia en el trabajo de agricultura?
Bueno, los hombres araban la tierra, sembraban y cuando cosechaban, las mujeres ayudaban y también los niños aprendían por lo que veían y así la familia se mantenía unida.
¿Cómo aprendiste usted a trabajar en agricultura y quién te enseñó?
Pues aprendí por viendo cómo ellos trabajaban la tierra, ¿verdad? Y me enseñaron mis abuelos, porque ellos sembraban maíz y ahí nosotros veíamos cómo lo hacían y cultivaban caña también.
¿Por qué cree usted que es importante mantener esas tradicionales agriculturas?
Porque no solo alimentan el cuerpo, sino también el alma. Estas tradiciones nos enseñan quiénes somos y de dónde venimos. Si los jóvenes olvidan, también se pierde una parte de nuestra historia y nuestra identidad.
When we compare traditional agriculture with global or industrial agriculture, the difference between the two are clear and it reveals a lot about the values of each system. Traditional agriculture is based on ideas like staying small-scale and community-centered. It relies on family labor, local knowledge, and long-term relationships with the land. The food produced through small-scale agriculture is oftentimes primarily produced for immediate family use or shared within nearby communities for mercados or small shops. This creates a sustainable cycle where resources are used carefully and agricultural practices are adjusted to the local environment. However, industrial agriculture operates on a national or even global scale. This system is specifically designed for mass production and profit. Large-scale agriculture becomes successful due to population growth and the need to keep up with producing food in large amounts. With that being said, large machines, chemical fertilizers, and pesticides are used to produce as much food as possible for these large and distant populations. The workers in this system are a part of a much larger labor force, and farming becomes less about community and more about business. Knowing the differences between these systems helps us understand how economic goals shape the way societies produce their food. Traditional agriculture emphasizes community and sustainability, while industrial agriculture emphasizes efficiency and profit. Subsistence systems are crucial because they shape different lives daily. In the communities that rely on these systems outside of industrial levels, children learn through observations and what they are doing. They grow up surrounded by these people's practices and values connected to working on land. This is a key example of enculturation, as it is defined by the process by which individuals learn the cultural practices and beliefs of their community that surrounds them. Again, these skills become a huge part of a person's identity. This was especially exemplified by my grandma's response. Our subsistence systems are our history, and it is spread to the younger generations. Traditional agriculture teaches us that food is far more than a product. It is tradition, identity, and connection. It shows us the importance of community and the value of sustainable practices that respect both people and the environment. Thank you for watching.